What's going on, everyone? It has been quite some time since I did a video, or at least it feels like it's been a while. So I'm here with another deck profile for you guys. But first up, just a few updates. Videos will still be coming. I know it's kind of scattered at the moment, but that's just because of my busy schedule. Second thing, you probably noticed I finally got my hands on the Dragoborne playmat. This is thanks to Jonathan Self, the author of the Crystal Caverns blog. If you want to take a look at some of his Dragoborne articles, there will be a link down in the description for that. And also, if you haven't already, go subscribe to Hunter Surge and his channel, and check out Dragoborne Weekly, where I was featured on the latest podcast. And yeah, that about does it for the plugs, aside from the normal check out Dragoracle and the Facebook page. Links to both are down in the description below. So, anyways, yeah, I finally got around to making another deck quite some time ago, but finally being able to bring it to you guys. And it is a black, blue, green control deck. I think it functioned better as a mid-range deck, so I'll probably be switching some things up to that. But yeah, overall, it's not the greatest deck. There's definitely a lot that I would want to change about that. But it did do what I wanted it to, and it did have a really bad matchup against aggro. Aggro was just able to beat my face in before I could do anything, but I was able to handle mid-range and other control decks pretty well. Just throughout testing, I mean, I was just kind of using this one for fun until all of the cards that I needed got here for the decks that I actually want to use. So yeah, let's jump right into this deck profile, and I'll talk about some of my choices. So starting off with the black cards, we got 4 Wandering Apparitions. One of the best 1-drops. Cracks any Drago shield with a value of 3 or less, which is huge, especially on your first turn. Just lets you get an edge on your opponent really early in the game. I think I was playing this at 2, but I ended up bumping it up just because I needed some more aggressive plays. And then, for the same reason, there are 4 Crowd Surfers. I really didn't care about the Fort Burst as much as it was a 2-drop. There weren't really a lot of good 2-drops for black, blue, and green, and I felt like this was one of the better ones. I mean, hitting it as a Fort Burst is pretty nice. It just lets you get an extra body on board. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a great choice, and given the option, I would keep it at 4. I don't think I would cut down any of that. Then we got 2 Undine Executioners. This is one of those cards that I really didn't want to see in my hand. I would have preferred any of my other 2-drops over this one. It really just didn't do anything for me. And also, I forgot to mention at the beginning, but this deck had a really bad matchup against anything playing Carefree Orc. Carefree Orc just abolished my deck. And yeah, so I would probably switch him out for anything else that has more than 1 endurance. And I actually did end up doing that. I was testing him at 4, but ended up cutting him down to 2 for something else, which you will see in a little bit. Then we got 1 copy of Cavalier. He was a last-minute throw-in. I did cut some other stuff out of here, and he was one of the ones that I threw in. And I have only seen him twice. Both times I saw him, he saved me. So, yeah, he definitely came in clutch in a few matches. But I really haven't tested enough to know if I would want to bump him up or keep him here, because seeing him only when I needed him and playing him at 1 was kind of awesome. But yeah, I'm just not sure how often the need for him would occur. So moving on to one of the larger creatures, we got Bloody Baroness. I was testing Shadowcrest in this deck, but I felt like the 7 cost was just too much. I think the 5 was a lot better, because often when I was going to play Shadowcrest, I would have rather played him and something else, and with Bloody Baroness, being able to drop her as a 5 and then another 2-drop was really good, and that was what I wanted. So that is how she ended up in this deck. And being able to pop any 4 or less cost creature was pretty amazing. So yeah, definitely worth playing at 2. Might cut something else out to play a 3rd one, just to make sure that I see her. I think I only saw her once in testing, but it was still better than the one time I saw Shadowcrest in testing. Then we got 2 Deathtrap. Just a really good ambush. Stops your Sunscale Dragons or Terrax, provided it's not Dragocrossed. But yeah, just an overall really strong ambush. Then I got 3 Gluttonies of Alberts. This is a really great card. It's one of the only outs to 0 that we have at the moment. And being able to blow up all the cards on a fort is really good. And I think I did see this quite a few times and played it quite a few times. The 6 cost felt fair to me. I don't think changing that in any way would... I think that would make this card broken if it was a lower cost, or make it impossible to play if it was a higher cost. I think 6 is perfect. Moving on to the blue cards now. First up, we got 2 Frontier Explorer. The reason I am playing this over Ambushing Tide Chaser, I think that's the name, is because this has 2 Endurance. So Carefree Orc would not be able to pop it. I mean, if there was 2, yeah, they could get over it. But them just going Carefree Orc, attack, deal 1 damage to it is not going to kill it. So that is the only reason why I am playing this card over any of the other 1-drops that we currently have at the moment. But yeah, definitely a really good quote-unquote counter to Carefree Orc. But aside from that, it didn't offer too much. Then we got 2 Merchant of Scrolls. This was what I replaced Undine Executioner with, and I did enjoy seeing this card much more. It let me pitch early Gluttonies to draw something better, or anything else that I didn't want to see, and plus, provided I drew Cavalier, I could just scoop it up later. So yeah, this was a really great card in this deck. But I don't think I would play it at 4. I think in this deck 2 was just perfect. Then I also got 2 Plato. This was one of those last minute throw-ins as well, just because I started bumping up the number of ambushes I was playing and felt like Plato was a good partner for that. So that is how he ended up in here. I actually never got to play an ambush with his effect. Never saw them at the same time, and I think I played 10 ambushes in here. Then next up we got 2 Variable Assault Unit Fuma. This is in here strictly as a Teriel counter. I would be playing Balthios instead, but this has a lot more versatility rather than just yellow hate. However, I found that there was not a lot of stuff that I would want to bounce back to my opponent's hand, because most of their stuff had 1-summon effects, such as Zarko or Fafnir, or any of those. And returning it to their hand would just mean that they could summon it again and trigger the effect again. But, so yeah, never really wanted to get that off, but I think it is a great card, and for those situations that you do want to use it, it's better to have it just for that. And I believe his effect is optional, so you don't even have to activate it. You could just play it as another body if it was the only card in your hand. Then our final blue creature is 2/0 Mecha Warrior. This is an unblockable creature, and when Dragocross can return a creature to the hand, I actually did return a Zarko to my opponent's hand using his effect, just because 0 was the only card I had on the field, and after I bounced Zarko back, they could summon it again, but they wouldn't be able to blow up 0. So yeah, this is a really great card. Then I got 3 Rejuvenates. This was also one of those last minute additions, just because I was playing blue-green, and it just fit in here really well, plus the extra draw was really nice. Then 2 EMPs. This is a really great card. thought I was running more than that, so I guess I am only running 8 ambushes. But yeah, EMP is an amazing card that shuts your opponent down essentially for a turn. Then we also got 2 Shieldbreaker. This was my first time testing out this card, and I was shocked at how good it was. Being able to break down 6s when you didn't have any strong creatures out was really powerful. And then if you had that black 5 to 6, which I did on quite a few occasions, you were able to destroy a creature as well. So I did really like this card, but just like Address Disdain, I would not run more than 2. And then we got 1 All Guns Blazing. I was running 4 Gluttonies, but decided to put this in just in case I didn't want to destroy anything. And actually, all of the games that I played, it was one of my Fort Bursts. So that was kind of awesome. Then we got 2 Falfalas. Moving on to the green cards. This is a really great counter to red, and also Drago Crossing, it's able to break down 5s. So, really powerful card. Then we also got 2 Fleetwing Sprites, just to help build up our resources. I was testing it at 4, but I think 2 is a much better number, especially for this build, and I'd probably end up cutting that out in one of the other renditions of this deck. Then we got 4 Kingslayer B, just because he's too good not to play if you're playing green. It's probably one of the green staples as of right now. Then we also got 2 Mischievous Sprite, just to pop your opponent's ambushes. Yeah, with Carefree Orc being around, I do think Eleanor would be a better choice. But in this deck, I was preferring Mischievous Sprite. I'd have to test it out with both, but in this deck, the 3 cost for her was a lot better than the 4 cost, and I could kind of feel that, so I do think that in this particular build, Mischievous Sprite is a little bit better. Then we got 2 Gigantor Weevil, just another red counter, and it was really strong against Zarkos and Pyroblasts, and I am really glad that I had it in here. I mean, this could technically be a side deck card, but I had room in my main deck, so it ended up in here. And then to round things off, we got 2 Terax, just a really powerful card, and punishes your opponent for playing aggressively. So yeah, that wraps up the deck. It is 50 cards, and I haven't seen a reason to run more than 50 yet. And yeah, it just really helps with consistency. But yeah, let me know what you guys think or what you guys would change, and what colors you want to see next. My next deck profile will probably be mono red, followed by a yellow, green, blue control deck. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you want to catch those videos. And also be sure to follow me on Twitter. You'll be notified when I post new videos. And I am a little bit more active there than I am here currently. But as always, thanks for watching.